In today's episode of Roast My Ride, we're going to be roasting the bike setups of your favourite YouTubers. It takes me so long to edit in the flames. Assume that every bike featured in this video is sponsored.
Every single bike, every single bit of every bike, and every single thing that everyone is wearing. Just assume it's all sponsored.
Except some of them aren't, but just assume they are. First up, we have YouTuber and, more prominently, pro cyclist Cameroony Mason, whose real name I think is Cameron.
So he actually got the silver medal in the European Cyclocross Championships, and he is an absolute beast on a bike.
Alright guys, it's Cameron Mason here of Alpes and Koenig development team.
He looks proper pro in that kit.
And this is my Canyon Aeroad CFR training bike. So it's the bike I have at home, set up with Dura-Ace and beautiful cockpit and cell Italia. I'm really enjoying riding it. Yeah, very fast, and I'm pretty comfortable on it, but let me know what you think.
This is why you can't trust professional cyclists, because his training bike that he just gets slung by the team is like Dura-Ace, top end, absolutely everything.
The CFR, which is the best carbon one, isn't it?
Like
the CFR.
His training bike.
But I watched the video before I looked at the photo of this. It's just going to be a boring Canyon Aeroad, whatever. And then I clicked it, saw the paint job. I was like, that is a nice looking bike.
It's a great looking bike. So
I want to roast. We were too nice. This is supposed to be roasting, not rating.
Oh, I've got a roast. The brand or the red on the saddle doesn't match the frame.
Oh, it has. I have that saddle.
Yes, you do.
And why does it come with red? I'm going to Sharpie it out. That is it's the best paint scheme I've seen on one of those Canyons.
Well, this is an annoying start. For God's sake, Francis, the first one you've given me is a banger.
Gorgeous. It's got a chip on it.
Chip on the seat.
Finally, we found something.
Chainstay even. I like his house as well.
Nice proportions as well. He's like average height guy. Here's a roast. Based on Canyon sizing, that's probably an extra small.
It probably is, yes. Paint job's sick. Bike shops, Canyon are not good for bike shops, which is a negative in some respects, but that doesn't really affect me. I don't own a bike shop. It's a banger.
God damn it, Cameroony.
I want to give it high, but then I'm thinking about the specialized rating that I gave as 5 of 10, which was kind of like it was just. This is way more exciting looking than that specialized bike from the previous video.
Well, it's also not a specialized, so it's.
Go on, say it.
It's cooler, isn't it?
You told me that down. I'm actually riding that group set in the minute on my road bike.
Little dinky rotors, both 140s. You can't do that on some bikes.
Can you not?
No.
I've been riding that group set recently, and it is unbelievably perfect. It is just perfection. 9.5 out of 10.
I'm going to give
9.8 out of 10.
I'm giving it 8. It would get a 9 if it didn't have Shimano and the Zwift logos on it. Next up, we have everybody's favorite hill climber, Ed Lavarack. He used to race as a pro for Rafa Condor. He now has a YouTube channel where he tackles hill climbs specifically. He is absolutely rapid. He has some very light bikes, and well, he's a lovely guy. And you must know him because everyone in Wales knows each other.
Yeah, best mates. British National Hill Climb Champion in 2019 and the Under-23s British Road Race Champion in 2013. So he is like a legit bike racer, unlike you who are a less legit bike racer.
Ed Lavarack here. This is my Factor O2 van build. Full blacking finishing kit, climbing wheel set, 4i left-sided precision 3 meter, Cella Italia saddle, Continental GP 5000 TT tyres, 28mm, and weighing in at about 6.3 kilograms. There you have it.
Just casually 6.3 kilogram disc brake bike.
He has a lovely Welsh accent. That's like, there's that Welsh twang. You know he's Welsh, but it's not too
aggressive.
Much.
Yeah.
Or non-existent like my one. Oh, that does look good.
How long is that stem?
Wow,
Made that bike very, very long. But he is so performance focused. He might as well be a pro. That is a cool bike.
Tubeless, based on the valves.
Yeah, lighter than tubeless in most scenarios. So when he's doing hill climbs, that seat post looks horrible. What is going on there?
It's just one of those old school like carbon.
It's like a sheath that goes over the top of the. That's how you do the height.
And do you remember there was a point where there were like some bikes? I think Giant used to do one, and you actually like cut the tube to height.
And then you had about 2 centimeters of adjustment, and that's it. So if Ed ever sells this bike, be very warned. It's probably stuck like that.
I quite like the paint job. It's basically black and white, but there's a bit of texture in the front end and on some of the stays.
Is it like raw carbon?
I don't
sort
think
of
it
feel?
is. That could be lighter then, couldn't it?
Photo could be higher resolution, Ed.
Again, the Dura-Ace 12-speed group set. As I said on the previous one, it is a mint group set. The depth of the wheels looks a bit thin for that frame. Aesthetically, it would look nicer with deeper wheels, but obviously he set out for a hill climb bike, which is interesting as well because it's not a pure hill climbing bike. That's still a rideable bike because the really purists will run a 1x group set and drill everything and cut bits off here and cut bits off there, whereas that is a fully functioning road bike that is just really, really light.
I think there's the situation you have at the top end hill climb scene now is that the fastest riders, some of them are sponsored, so they have to be on disc brake bikes that are a little bit heavier and have certain features. He's winning and podiuming despite that, not because of that. It depends on the hill climb though, because some of them are fast enough to warrant a slightly heavier bike that's more aero.
Yeah.
That is a very nicely put together, but I can't get that. What is that, like 140mm stem?
It's
Ridiculous.
definitely massive. It looks like a one-piece bar as well. Mm-hmm. That's a cool bike. I don't want it. Again, I would like to have a go on it.
I'm scared of factors.
Why is that?
Because the amount of factors that James Jobber from the shop has broken during racing in the same place.
He is one.
Scares
He
me.
does break everything.
True.
He's like it's hard to gauge with him whether him breaking something means that it's a bad product or not because he just breaks everything.
I lent him a bike.
He didn't break that.
Haven't checked it.
True. Yeah, maybe he did.
Am I allowed to add points because Ed was the first person, he won the race to get a picture and a video back to me after I asked like 20 million YouTubers.
Oh, you mean for this video?
Yeah.
He was the first?
Yeah, he was the first. Cameron Mason second.
Both
Ed is technically, yeah, because
they're so performance focused. They're like, bam, get it in.
But, I mean, on paper, Ed's a better bike rider because of that. So, sorry, Cam. Silver medal, again.
I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. And I like it, but I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't look at this and go like, oh yeah, I could put that in my collection.
I'm doing bad with the roast again. It's going to have to be 7 because I don't like as much of the Canyon, and I gave the Canyon an 8. Next up, we have a double whammy. Some people you might recognise, but also might not if you're only watching cycling YouTube. First, Rhett Shull, guitar YouTube sensation. If you like a bit of fuzz.
Hey, my name's Rhett Shull. I am a musician and a YouTuber, and this is my bike. This is a 2020 Scott Addict SE, Shimano Di2 Ultegra. These are not the pedals that I normally have on it. Normally I've got SPD pedals, but we went on a trip last week and we brought the wrong shoes. And it's pretty much stock except for the tires. I upgraded to some Continental GP5000s and I went up considerably in size. I think these are like 32C or maybe even 35C. About as wide of a tire as I can fit in this bike is what I went with, and I love it. I would never go back down to a narrower tire. I changed the bar tape and it looks absolutely terrible. I did it myself.
He's being harsh on himself there.
That's pretty good.
That's so
He
good.
did it first time. Just because he works on little guitars and stuff, and he's already good at doing.
That's so harsh on himself there. He's done a better job than I've seen a lot of people do.
I keep lights on it full time, headlight and tail light every single time I ride because where I live, people don't pay attention. There's no cycling infrastructure, so I try and make myself as visible as possible. Things I would change or upgrade. I want to change the wheels. I'd like to put a nice set of carbon deep dish wheels for no other reason than they look good. I'm not fast. I'll never be fast, but I think they look cool. And I want to change the cassette out to a wider range cassette. I live in a really hilly area, and some of the hills I'm just not strong enough to get up, even on my my biggest gear. So, yeah. That's my bike.
Why is the saddle that colour?
His video production and audio quality, 10 out of 10. Absolutely nailed it.
Funny that.
I love that he wants a wider range cassette because, as we know, bikes are always spec'd with not enough range for normal people.
I love that he wants deep carbon wheels purely, exclusively for the fact they look cool.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah, this guy's sick.
I think decisions in cycling should be made more about that than performance.
The cable routing on the front end is hideous. And that's not going to be him, that's just going to be how it arrives. It's like got weird cables going all over the place, Di2 cables stuffing in here, stuffing in there.
It's also scuffed up the head tube.
I don't...
What do people use? Is it Gorilla Tape or helicopter tape? Helicopter tape. Like clear tape. You can put a little bit around and it stops the rub.
I was actually thinking the saddle was kind of cool, but I've actually just realised that the saddle just matches the graphics. It's that like snot green Scott colour, isn't it?
I don't think a saddle should be... it's just going to get dirty as well, isn't it? Few spaces underneath the stem, sensible. He's made his position more comfortable. Maybe because he had a giant mountain bike crash where he broke his whole body.
It's definitely not as exciting as the last two bikes. But I'm sure it's a very good, practical bike that he enjoys riding around. Assuming he is in his house, wherever he lives, is clearly absolutely gorgeous, and I'm sure he has a lovely time on it. 7.8 out of 10 because he's running front and rear lights 24/7, and I rate that.
I'm going to give it a 6.5 because the Scott Addict annoys me that it's not more relaxed despite being sold as an endurance bike. Next up, we have Tilly, who's Rhett's wife and fantastic photographer who takes photos at Garmin Unbound and a bunch of other gravel races. She also cycles a bicycle. And we're about to see it.
Hi, I'm Tilly Shull. I'm a freelance photographer with a focus on gravel cycling. This is my Liv Langma. A few things about it that I've changed. I put some beautiful pink bar tape on there. Mimic saddle that I got from Specialized, and some of these Shimano, I don't know what kind of pedals. So I just upgraded 45C tire to a 28C tire. What would I change about this? I would change the braking system. I know that it's super outdated. I don't know anything different, so I don't have a frame of reference really for what it's like to ride with a better braking system, but I do know that it's super outdated. And I don't love that it takes up all of this space on the front of the handlebar. So I would like to upgrade the cassette to a wide range cassette because my husband likes to climb and I do not.
This system is one of the most horrible things to exist in the world. It's a bit like the TRP brake calipers, but in a different place. So it sits in your handlebars and converts your cabled disc brake levers into hydraulic disc brakes. It is a bit of a nightmare to work on and it looks horrible.
I would assume that its performance is similar to the TRP hydro thingies that you rode across Malaysia on.
I've never used it. I've been told no.
Right.
It doesn't work very nicely. And it's a pain in the ass to work on. I don't think they make it anymore.
It's definitely incredibly ugly. Like why are there cables just like sticking out the sides of it?
This is a perfect use case for the TRP high road. So maybe Tilly, if you wanted to make an upgrade and it not completely bust the bank, TRP high road calipers instead, and then it tidies up your handlebar area and it should be much more reliable as well.
Liv have a reputation for doing better sized bikes for women, so sick.
Better, but not good enough.
I quite like the colour scheme on it.
Handlebar position is compensating. I am pretty sure Bike Fit James has fitted Rhett via remote technology.
You know this isn't Rhett, don't you?
Yeah, what I'm saying is Tilly needs to get in on that. I'm going to have to dock off some points for the conduct. So it's getting a 5.5.
Oof.
I just spat on you.
Did you?
I think
Where?
so. All over.
Oh, 7 out of 10. Neck.
I've been excited for this one. Have you been as well?
What, Benny Boom Boom?
Yeah.
Benny Boom Boom.
I haven't chatted to him in a while. Next up is our friend Ben Joseph. He's a cyclist that I met when I was traveling through India many years ago. He is the first Indian to have ever raced Red Hook Crit. He's owned a bike shop called Life Behind Bars, which is in Bangalore in India, and he's just the best guy.
Hello, my name is Benny, and I have a YouTube channel which doesn't do too well. And here's my bike. Chapter 2, Huru, Rim Brake, Team Edition from Bigla, women's team that folded.
Where did you get Chapter 2 from?
Well, we have to assume everything's
The
sponsored.
guys, yeah, well, no, I don't think it would be sponsored.
We've got
Why is Gangster's Paradise playing?
Old school Dura Ace. That is a 5600 105 front radar because my other trailer broke. Physique. Excellent. Super cast, super light. What do you call these things? Bidon holders? Yeah. And this one broke. This one too. So I sort of, gaffer taped it. Old ass P1 pedals, they work. This one's a power meter too, but doesn't work. 130mm -17 zip. And I'm in Ahmedabad right now, Gujarat. Come for a work trip. And this is the river.
I love Benny so much. He makes me laugh. I love him.
He's such a good guy.
Another saddlebag. Another set of GP5000 tyres. There's a lot of GP5000s coming along here. I think it looks sick. I love that it's rim brake. I'm not a fan of the greeny, bluey, teal splashes of colour, but it's an X-Team bike that you got a deal on. Negative stem that's then propped up with spacers probably negates some of that negativity, but it does look sick.
It does look cool. It does look cool.
Probably our most hated saddle in history.
Plank of wood, isn't it? When I met Benny, he was fixie as life.
Yeah.
There was no road bikes.
He hadn't ridden an, I don't think he had ridden one.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And now he is fully succumbed to the gears.
To the 2 power meters.
He's so roady, he has 2. This is a perfect example of just making shit work. And it ends up being a very fast bike, I'm sure. I wonder if you can get new end caps for the pedal power meters. That would tidy things up a lot, instead of them being rust coloured. In his defence, Benny now lives by the seaside. And if you live by the seaside, everything you own rusts. In fact, I learnt a fact the other day, which might just be a scam.
Fact or speculation?
No, this is a true fact that I was told. If you live in Singapore, my friend Dan lives in Singapore, the bike shops there will not sell aluminium handlebars to people because they will break. Because they corrode and break so quickly.
It's definitely a scam.
Just to get people to buy more handlebars. Even though I do agree with you and think it's a scam, the handlebars do corrode and break, and especially if you sweat on them. And people sweat a lot in Singapore. The sweatiest people in the world.
Jesus.
Well, it's sweat and sea
Back to
air.
this video.
Okay, yeah, Benny, yeah.
I'm rating this 10 out of 10.
10?
Because I love Benny so much, and I love everything that he does. I'm giving it 10 out of 10. I don't care. I do not care. 10 out of 10 for me.
Shit saddle, 8 out of 10.
Oh yeah, it's that saddle. 9 out of 10.
Do check out Benny's videos though for a very unique and exciting look at cycling in India. Next up we have our friend Lou Vardaman, previously Lou Q. Some people know her as Lou Q.
Yeah, I'm sure.
She holds the world record, along with some other people, for Land's End to Dronagroats as a relay. And she did it on this bike.
She's also the founder of the Internationals and rode the entire Tour de France route the day before the men a few years back.
To protest the fact there wasn't a women's race. And now there is a women's race, thanks to Lou.
This is my bike, a Bianchi Specialissima in custom pink. It has disc brakes, NV 3.4 SCS wheels, integrated cockpit, Dura-Ace 12-speed wireless transmission, loads of gears because I don't like sore legs, 34 on the back, and Wahoo Speedplay pedals. Please be nice, this is my pride and joy.
This bike is the sister to my blue Villia. Whenever I look at it, I think it looks like that.
Okay, yeah. Except this is way blingier than your bike.
What do you mean it's more blingier?
This is literally like as top end as a bike
Just because
gets.
of the Envies? That's top end. My bike's top end. It's got Dura-Ace on it. Admittedly, it's the Dura-Ace where the crank might snap at any point in time.
So one thing we definitely know about Lou is she loves pink. Pink everything. And I have a pink bike and I'm a big fan of pink bikes. I think this looks great.
This
and I
is
love
an
Lou.
awesome bike.
Is it GP5000s?
The video is too blurry to... Oh, no.
No, it's not. You've literally...
I've got the same tyres. Here's the system. I did this by accident. It's the same tyres. I'm going to go on a ride with Lou on our blue and pink bikes. The Envies are really cool. I'm guessing because they're Envies, they're hookless, which scares me a little bit. But lots of wheels are hookless. I really want to ride some Envies. I saw some in the shop the other day, and I was shocked at how wide They are. A lot of wheel sets that we have are very wide, but the Envy's are something else.
Like internal.
The internal width is just bonkers wide.
I've held that bike and it is unbelievably light, partly probably because it's like an extra small. Black everything, super poppy frame, absolute G as you can possibly get.
We're not doing very well with this roast, are we?
This is going to be this. Well, this is the problem. It's a celebrity roast edition, and therefore it's going to be people with just like the best of best bikes.
9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm bang on for that as well. And that is a bike that's a bike that will fit me if I really wanted it to, and I would like to have a go on it. Oh, and then we can be cousins.
Next up, we have Cam Nicholls, who lots of you will recognise from his fantastic bike fit videos on YouTube, amongst other videos too. Bike Fit series, which is almost as good as Bike Fit Tuesdays. With Neil Stanbury? I think he does it with Neil Stanbury.
I was just about to say, no relation to me by the fact it's the same surname, but I don't actually know. Maybe we are related.
You could be.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. We have the same surname. So he didn't send us a video. He just sent us photos, which I'm pretty disappointed.
This is a Windspace, which is a Chinese brand, I believe, and Chinese wheels as well. I can. He spends a lot of time on YouTube getting seemingly Windspace bikes like chopped up and looking at the carbon inside and seeing what the deal is. So I assume he has had problems with some of them in the past, but I presume because it's the one he's actually riding, he's having a good time with it.
I do not know much about these brands, so I am not going to comment in that respect.
A lot of the Chinese brands are known for having ridiculously low stacks. However, that looks quite well proportioned and nice. Mechanical group set, one by with a massive chainring. Must live somewhere flat. My one by, I did that to a bike, and then I had to change the chainring to a little tiny one because I'm not fit enough to ride it. It looks really cool. Quark power meter. It's the double tap though.
I don't mind. Like the double tap's okay. If I was riding a lot and it was on like terrain that was very varied, I was doing lots of gear changing. So like my commute to work, there is a lot of gear changing. I would ideally not be doing it on a double tap. But if you're just out and about on just relatively flat roads, I think it's fine.
I'm not the biggest fan, but I did ride it through Malaysia recently, and it was okay. Apex ones.
Oh, okay.
This is Force.
Yeah, those Force, yeah.
Not only did you not send us a video cam, but you also didn't clean your bike. Slightly pointy down saddle. Need to spend more time with Neil Stanbury. With my powers of deduction, I've decided that this is his crit bike. That's why it's got the one by.
I think you're probably right.
Which is affordable frame. Affordable. But for a race bike, I think the frame is new, about £1,000. Wheel set's pretty affordable as well. You don't need 2x if you're racing crits. And if you crash it, things can be replaced and repaired easily.
One bottle cage is definitely a crit bike. 100%.
6.5.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it as my bike.
I almost want to put this in the same space as I put that Specialized Once Upon a Time as a 5 out of 10, because it's probably a good bike. It doesn't excite me. Like you said, I agree with you. I don't look at that and go like, oh, I want to have a go on it. It's good, but it's also a bit boring.
It does its job.
It does a job, which therefore sits in the middle of a scale. Sorry, Cam.
Last up, we have arguably not a YouTuber first and foremost, but he does have a YouTube channel.
Definitely, on paper, the most famous person on this list.
It's Jeremy Vine. Why is he on the floor?
Look, I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking this is just a really rubbish bike, and it may be. It's a giant, and someone
Get
told
attacked
you
by a
that
plant.
the way to avoid getting your bike stolen was to smash it up before you even ride it the first time. So I bashed it about a bit with a hammer, and I then found some gold paint that looked like mud, and I painted it, and no one has stolen it, and no one is interested. And after now 5-6 years, I actually would like it to be stolen because I need an excuse to get a new one. It's been wonderful. I've never worried about anyone running off with it. And in fairness, it works well. It's kind of heavy, that's the only thing. But I'm very attached to it. But like I say, if you would like to steal it, I'd kind of appreciate that, because 5 years is now pushing it.
Clearly, he's very much used to having camera crews around him.
This cameraman is a snail.
Flat bar, waterproof cover,
Flat pedals,
stick-on
sensible
pannier-y
rack
thing.
at the back.
Mud guards. Oh, but doesn't protect the frame.
GoPro cage on the front because he films naughty drivers. What's the tape on the front? The top tube.
Here.
Yeah.
Don't know. Well, there's just lots of stuff going on.
There's a lot of things on that bike. If you see this bike out and about, he wants it stolen. So just take it. You won't get in trouble. I think I am disappointed in Jeremy Vine. I know that he owns a penny farthing. And he didn't submit that. He rides to work on a penny farthing.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
Does he really?
Yeah. This is, as you said, straight down the middle, 5 functional bike. It's the same as a Windspace.
Or a specialized
crit bike.
Venge. Was it a specialized
Yeah,
Venge?
specialized Venge. Yeah, same rating.
Yes! This is as good as a specialized Venge. You've heard it here first.
This is what a specialized Venge
Should
stock
be.
build. No, this is what a specialized Venge is for bike racing, for commuting.
Yes, exactly.
It's that.
Yeah, that's why it's a 5 out of 5.
No frills, does the job the best it can. Spot on. Thank you, Jeremy Vine, for being involved. Give him a like and subscribe because he doesn't have enough subscribers. Jeremy Vine on 5. This has been Roast My Ride Celebrity Edition. We have so many more, but we don't have time to do them. Thank you, everybody, for sending those in. Stay tuned for episode 2 soon.